audio in there. But that's Jim Bridenstine there talking to the crew, and it looks like Associate Administrator Jim Morehard is also in the room, standing to the right of your screen.
And these are great moments to get a last chance to talk to the senior leadership of NASA as they're about to go off and launch into the cosmos. And I think when you look at how Bob and Doug complement each other, and how these SpaceX suits, they really complement the astronauts too, because they're more form-fitted, they're custom-made, and this is a moment where they're getting ready to, do the real deal. And Lauren, I think, the integration of the suit and the vehicle and these seats is just really, really impressive. How y'all at SpaceX did that.
Yeah, the primary purpose of the spacesuit, it's a pressure suit. Now, the Dragon capsule is already pressurized, so even in the vacuum of space, the crew is safe when inside of Dragon. But in the unlikely event of an anomaly that causes the capsule to depressurize, we can actually flow oxygen or nitrox into the suit, and that will keep the astronauts pressurized in flight. So that's its main purpose. So it's that form and function, and some style there as well.
And for the kids out there that have 3D printers or have 3D printed, the actual helmets were made by 3D printing. So you could be a spacesuit designer yourself because you already have the skill set, and or fly in space one day if you wanted to.
And I'm curious about what kind of conversation might be going on with them. It looks like it's lighthearted. You can see Doug laughing there. I know that Mr. Bridenstine has said, Bob and Doug, if you want to back out, it's not too late. I would imagine he may have said that again. I know they're ready to go. They're as eager as can be. And it looks like they may have another visitor coming in. Oh, no, it looks like the administrator's just being passed something there. But
and it's really important. I mean, we've trained for so long. We've gone through the malfunction processes. Now he's doing a selfie.
Of course, you got to do the selfie. I didn't see them do this on Wednesday, so they were probably kicking themselves when they walked out. Why didn't we do a selfie in there?
I wonder if he has that Instagram filter to put the glasses on. Do you think he has it on?
Well, you can tweet at him and find out.
Yeah, I might have to do that. No, this is a great lighthearted moment. It gets the guys in a good mindset to go off in space in a very calm and cool and collected way. I think he's now taking pictures of some of the crew techs, the suit techs, which is fantastic. It's all about bringing the family and the team together, making everyone feel comfortable on flight day and helping us get to space safely, as we always try to do.
And obviously this is a very serious mission. I mean, we don't want to make too much light of it, but Leland, you mentioned Wednesday.
Друзья, еще раз хочу вам напомнить, чтобы вы не пропустили самый главный запуск в истории SpaceX, который произойдет сегодня, уже спустя несколько часов. Подпишитесь на этот канал, поставьте себе будильник, и вы уже будете знать, спустя какое время и на какой канал вам нужно зайти, чтобы посмотреть самую лучшую трансляцию с самым лучшим, естественно, переводом на русский язык, чтобы вам все было понятно, интересно и все наглядно. Поэтому, ребята, подпишитесь, это вам мой совет такой, подпишитесь на канал, поставьте себе будильник, и все, заходите через пару часиков, как будильник у вас зазвенит, просто-напросто на эту трансляцию, и вы все увидите, все будет в лучшем виде.
They are two of the finest at what they do, and it's really starting to sink in that the mission is on as you see them in their spacesuits.
And seeing them in these suits has always been so inspiring to me from the first time that I saw them in Hawthorne at SpaceX headquarters during training. It's kind of like a sci-fi film, but unlike a movie prop, which primarily just needs to look cool, our team designed the suit to maximize safety and functionality while maintaining style. Here are two members of our spacesuits team, Chris Trigg and Maria Sundin, telling us about how the suit came to be.
I think one of the things that was important in the development of the suit was to make it easy to use, something that the crew just has to literally plug in when they sit down, and then the suit kind of takes care of itself from there. So the suit is really kind of one part of the bigger Dragon system. It's really part of the vehicle. So we think of it as kind of a suit seat system. So the seat that the crew is in and the suit are in a lot of ways working together. And so it made sense that we were designing Dragon in-house to also design the suit.
Our spacesuits is completely designed in-house. It's built here in Hawthorne, California, in the same building as the rocket and the capsule. The spacesuit is custom-made for each crew member. and that is to optimize the fit for the crew member.
We definitely wanted to innovate and we wanted it to look inspiring, but first and foremost, we wanted it to be safe and reliable. The spacesuit's primary purpose is to protect the crew in the unlikely event that the cabin were to depressurize. But the suit does a number of additional things. It provides cooling and communication to the crew inside of the suit. It provides them hearing protection, and the outer layer of the suit is flame resistant, so it provides flame protection as well. When the crew gets in the capsule, they get in their seats and they plug the suit into the umbilical that's attached to the seat. And the umbilical is providing everything that the suit needs. So it provides the avionics or electronics for communications, it's providing the air to cool the suit, and then it also provides gas when needed to pressurize the suit. So it's really a single point that lets the suit do all the things that it needs to do. We designed the helmet in-house. The helmet serves a number of different functions. Obviously, it's protecting the crew's head and it's retaining gas like the rest of the suit, but it also houses the microphones as well as the valves that are regulating pressure in the suit. We had to design the gloves so that they would work with the touchscreens, but the gloves also still had to do a number of other things like the rest of the suit. So all of those things had to come together within the glove. It'll be obviously really amazing to see Bob and Doug in their flight suits, and I think one of the things that's cool about the suit is it's not just a piece of hardware, it's not just a suit, it's a very personal thing. It's Bob's suit and it's Doug's suit. And so seeing the two of them in their suits using it in flight will be just a really amazing thing.
And you're looking live at Launch Complex 39A. That is Crew Dragon in the center of your screen, sitting atop a two-stage Falcon 9 SpaceX rocket that will produce 1.7 million pounds of thrust at liftoff. We are keeping our fingers crossed that the weather cooperates. It's a 50-50 chance. It looks beautiful right now, but there may be some thunderstorms rolling in later.
Друзья, еще раз хочу вам напомнить, чтобы вы не пропустили самый главный запуск в истории SpaceX, который произойдет сегодня, уже спустя несколько часов. Подпишитесь на этот канал, поставьте себе будильник, и вы уже будете знать, спустя какое время и на какой канал вам нужно зайти, чтобы посмотреть самую лучшую трансляцию с самым лучшим, естественно, переводом на русский язык, чтобы вам все было понятно, интересно и все наглядно. Поэтому, ребята, подпишитесь, это вам мой совет такой, подпишитесь на канал, поставьте себе будильник, и все, заходите через пару часиков, как будильник у вас зазвенит, просто-напросто на эту трансляцию, и вы все увидите, все будет в лучшем виде.
Your hand at docking with the space station. And I've tried it once before. It was really difficult. It looks way more, it's more difficult than it actually is, I think.
Yeah, flying in space is really deceiving. Just when you think you're going really slow and everything's okay, the next thing you know, you're careening into the space station. So it's way harder. You have to go way slower than you think. It might take a couple of tries, but it's doable.
Yeah, but you guys should try it and check it out and see if you can do it. So let's check in with John Innsbrucker for a quick update on Dragon and Falcon 9. John?
Well, we're coming up on T-minus 3 hours and 35 minutes. All continues to go well for today's launch. Now on the launch pad, Falcon 9 is powered on. Engine and stage checkouts were performed last night. All of those looked good. Now we're currently pressurizing gas storage vessels on both the first and second stage. And as I like to report, the good news is there's nothing significant to talk about on the rocket right now. Now on top of Falcon 9 is the Dragon spacecraft. That's being prepared for the crew. The Dragon propellant system was pressurized to final flight pressure about an hour ago. We had the support team arrive in the White Room just inside T-minus 4 hours, and we're waiting right now for the crew to walk out of the O&C building, and they should arrive at the pad by about T-minus 3 hours. For the Dragon spacecraft, all systems are also currently go. The Air Force range reports no issues at this time. The range will be maintaining both air and sea space clearance around the launch pad. They also help support things like putting the roadblocks up to prevent access to the hazard areas at both the launch site at 39A and around the Cape. Now, the big question, of course, is the weather. And as I've said before, we all talk about it, but it's the one thing we can't do anything about. Weather is 50% probability of good conditions. We are going to be watching for the clouds, lightning, thunderstorms. The sea breeze is not as strong today, and that's going to not help push all of that back over Central Florida. But right now, things are looking good with both Falcon 9 and Dragon as we count down to liftoff. Now, we want to see where you're following today's launch from, so we're going to jump over to Tahira at our social desk.
Thanks, Sean. So glad to hear that things are at least looking good right now for this launch. Really hope it stays that way. So we just took a look at numbers of viewerships across our social media platforms, and there are now 500,000 of you tuning in for today's broadcast. Welcome, guys. We are so excited to have you. We also have the top cities right now tuning in, and that's Columbia, South Carolina, Houston, Texas, Los Angeles, New York, and Orlando. So it seems like the East Coast is really pulling today's viewership, but hey, last time on Wednesday, California came in and really stole the whole show away. Let's take a look at what's being shared online right now. So right now we have this future astronaut, and I don't know who he had to call, but it looks like he is in this SpaceX suit and his Tesla getting ready for round 2. Absolutely love it. Let's take a second look. Okay, right now we have a French bulldog. It looks like taking Bob's
Друзья, еще раз хочу вам
place
напомнить,
for
чтобы вы не
lunch right now.
пропустили
This is
самый
so
главный
funny.
запуск в истории
We love to see
SpaceX,
it,
который
guys.
произойдет
And so,
сегодня, уже
for those of
спустя
you tuning in,
несколько
be sure
часов.
to use that
Подпишитесь
hashtag
на этот
Launch
канал,
America on
поставьте
social
себе
media
будильник,
and show us
и
how
вы
you're
уже
getting
будете
ready for
знать,
liftoff.
спустя какое
So
время
earlier
и
in
на
the
какой
show,
канал
we
вам
polled
нужно
users
зайти,
to
чтобы
see
посмотреть
which NASA logo
самую
you're
лучшую
sporting for
трансляцию
today's
с самым
launch.
лучшим,
And the
естественно,
results are
переводом на
in.
русский язык, чтобы вам все было понятно, интересно
So, it
и
looks
все
like
наглядно.
about,
Поэтому, ребята, подпишитесь,
looks
это
like
вам
about
мой
62%
совет такой,
of you are
подпишитесь на
wearing the
канал,
meatball
поставьте
today,
себе будильник,
and
и
that leaves
все,
the worm
заходите
falling a
через
little
пару
bit behind,
часиков,
but
как
hey,
будильник у
now that
вас
the worm is
зазвенит,
back, maybe y'all will
просто-напросто
be
на эту
sporting it more
трансляцию,
often.
и вы все
And
увидите,
so
все
with
будет в
that,
лучшем
let's
виде.
head back to Marie at NASA Kennedy. Marie?
Thanks, Tahira. We have some really spirited reactions here. We're looking live at the ONC walkout doors, but I just have to tell you, Leland threw up his arms in the air in victory when he saw more people sporting the meatball, and Lauren looks like someone just
shook.
kidnapped her
She's
dog.
seen a ghost.
I am shook.
Go worm, go away worm.
Oh, wow. You know, you can't predict, you know, how everyone else feels. That's the beauty of diversity of opinions, you know.
And other traditions like the meatball and the worm, or a card game that we play called Possum's Fargo. And you have to play enough hands to where the commander loses a hand before we can walk out. So that's probably going on right now, and they're getting ready to have Doug lose his hand.
Yes.
And then we can get in the elevator and come out and get in the spaceship.
Yep. So we're giving them that moment in private. And Leland, I wanted to ask you too, because I know, I mean, we had a scrub really late in the count yesterday. We got just under T-minus 17 minutes, and we were all like, oh, it was like a collective groan across the country, everybody watching. And I know you've been through a delay once yourself on one of your shuttle flights. And I wonder, you know, what does it take to kind of refocus yourself on day 2? I mean, do you go through all the exact same preparations? Do you do anything a little different? Is there a little bit of superstition involved?
No, not really. I mean, we try to keep everything the same way because we've practiced this way, and now we're in the real day. We're playing this way. So if you stay the same, kind of the same form and function that you've done before, nothing else hopefully will happen that's out of character to your mission. So I think we just try to stay the same way.
Yeah, that's good insight. And I know, you know, Bob and Doug, we heard them on the comms after that as they were detanking Falcon 9, and we're waiting for them to get out of Crew Dragon, and they were just cool, calm, collected, thanking the teams for doing a good job. Nobody's getting launch fever. And, you know, they're going to do the same thing today. No matter how many people are watching, they're going to make the same call as they would if nobody was paying any attention.
Right, and I was talking to CJ Sturkow before I launched on my first mission, and he said that he made a mistake and flipped the wrong switch on Ascent, and he glommed on that and was about to make another mistake. But he said that he had to just focus and get back to, you know, grace under pressure so that he would make a third mistake, which could have been, you know, catastrophic. So that's what we always try to do, is to try to do everything the same way, be very deliberate, but be very graceful, not really try to overthink something, but try to stay safe.
Absolutely.
And calm.
Yeah, that's so key, and I know that's a top of mind for all the SpaceX and NASA teams working on this today. And again, we're just standing by. We expect the crew is going to be leaving the suit-up room in just a couple of minutes, so we're giving them those last few minutes in private at the ONC building. And again, we're looking at the pad here. One of the other things that struck me, you know, we watched the videos about Bob and Doug, and when I went home on Wednesday, because people saw, a lot of people who were watching and then, or maybe watching again today, saw the videos about them, learned a little bit about their military background. My husband's a Marine, so he's like super pumped about Doug. Doug tweeted Semper Fi, and
Друзья,
so I
еще
know
раз
like
хочу вам
all the
напомнить,
Marines
чтобы вы
out
не
there are
пропустили
like
самый
just
главный
super
запуск
pumped
в
about
истории
seeing this, and the airmen
SpaceX,
that
который
are watching
произойдет
Bob, seeing
сегодня,
them
уже
represent
спустя
the Air Force.
несколько
I mean, it's
часов.
just such a cool
Подпишитесь на
moment
этот
for our
канал,
military
поставьте
community,
себе
and as a
будильник,
military
и
spouse,
вы уже
I
будете
definitely feel
знать,
some of that
спустя какое
pride.
время и на какой канал вам нужно зайти, чтобы посмотреть самую лучшую трансляцию с самым лучшим, естественно, переводом на русский язык, чтобы вам все было понятно, интересно и все наглядно. Поэтому, ребята, подпишитесь, это вам мой совет такой, подпишитесь на канал, поставьте себе будильник, и все, заходите через пару часиков, как будильник у вас зазвенит, просто-напросто на эту трансляцию, и вы все увидите, все будет в лучшем виде.
We want to take you to a picture of the doors. There they are. Those are the doors at the back of the crew quarters building, and it's an area where family, friends, and members of the media can share one final moment with the crew before launch. Now, the walk through those doors has signaled the beginning of the march towards launch for every American mission to space since 1968. This is the moment that is immortalized on film and video for 400 different astronauts from Apollo all the way through Space Shuttle, serving 150 total missions, and soon, if the weather cooperates, mission number 151 with the first 2 commercial crew astronauts. These doors carry with them a legacy of purpose and action, and today they will announce to all of us the start of this, NASA's SpaceX Demo 2 mission.
And you saw just a little bit of my walkout from STS-129, my last mission. And I remember having my friends and family out there. There was my chemistry teacher that was in the crowd. She got me turned on to science and helped me actually become an astronaut. And I just remember her being in the crowd saying, "Go Leland!" And it was just such a memorable moment for me. It kind of got more rocket fuel in my veins, getting me ready for my mission.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were just looking at a live picture outside of the building where we could see some of the folks gathered. We could see Doug and Bob's immediate families. There's a small contingent of media there. I mean, normally that place would be just kind of jam-packed with as many people as we could fit in there to capture that moment. We, of course, had to scale that back a little bit to maintain social distancing, but there's still a very excited group of people standing outside the building right now waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, it's so cool to see their families there and that they have that moment with them prior to getting inside of the Teslas. I mean, seeing that the last time we made that attempt was this incredibly emotional moment. I have no doubt it will also be emotional again. But yeah, that I can only imagine what's going through their heads, in that moment when they're just waving goodbye for the last time before flying. I mean, Leland, were you nervous? Were you?
At that moment, we were, we had been a little jovial in the suit up walkout, but I think at that moment we were thinking about our families, leaving our families, but then at the same time, we're going to do this incredible thing for helping advance our civilization. We are working as a team, all the other teams now with SpaceX and NASA and people all around the world really, in recovery and all these things, helping us get to space so we can advance our civilization. And I think those moments are really heartfelt for us that a team of people have helped us get to this point.
Absolutely. And we are looking at a live picture now of Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley walking down that hallway in the astronaut crew quarters. We just saw Doug wave at the screen, and they're just turning the corner, getting inside that elevator. And this, you can't see it from here, but there is a banner hanging there. You can kind of see it in the back. There's a banner hanging on the wall of the elevator with the signatures of all the people who worked on this mission. So it was really important for them to hang that up in there so Bob and Doug could see it.
Yeah, we see that, and we see all those signatures of people that have helped us through training, through fit check, through all of these moments and getting ready for this mission. And it feels like they're going along with us on the ride.
Друзья, насколько я знаю, эта ракета намного легче предыдущих своих собратьев, поэтому она готова как нельзя лучше по сравнению с своими старыми версиями к такому вот решительному шагу, чтобы появиться впервые на орбите вместе с экипажем на борту.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rockala, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof the
Сейчас вы можете слышать исполнение американского гимна. Вот, патриотический момент. Видим также американские флаги. Погода сегодня, как вы можете сами убедиться, хорошая на площадке запуска космической ракеты Crew Dragon 2. Поэтому сегодня никакого переноса не ожидается. Сегодня ожидается полноценный запуск уже этой ракеты с дальнейшим присоединением ее к МКС. Международная космическая станция.
Amazing. That's a live look again at Launch Complex 39A. We are awaiting astronauts Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley to walk out of the Neil Armstrong Operations and Checkout building any minute now. So we're going to be ready to cut to that shot just as soon as we get the word that they're ready to walk out that door. Those doors, excuse me. Again, looking like it's been a beautiful start to the day here on Cape Canaveral. But we're keeping a close eye on weather because it looks a little iffy as we get later into the afternoon, closer to launch time, which again is 3:22 this afternoon.
It always blows me away every time I visit Florida is, 1 hour it's this beautiful, clear, gorgeous day, and then an hour later it's a thunderstorm.
You said it. Welcome to our world.
And then an hour later it's back to clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Just similarly to last attempt, right? I mean, just 15, 20 minutes later, it was good to go.
I know, it hurt my soul because we have this instantaneous launch window. It's not like with shuttle where we could give it a couple more
Посмотрите,
minutes.
как красиво смотрится ракета
Second
издалека.
to get this off the ground. So everything's got to be just right. The
Это
conditions all
просто
have to be
шедевр
great at that
искусства.
moment.
Илон Маск знает
Again,
свое
Mother
дело.
Nature showing
Вы уже
she's in
многие
charge.
видели,
Absolutely.
возможно, кто-то из вас
And we
даже
just heard
катался
about
уже на
30
Теслах.
seconds, less than 30
Также
seconds now
вышел
from seeing the
недавно
crew walk out of those doors.
Тесла
We're
пикап.
standing by
Вы видели,
to show you
насколько
that
он
moment
крутой,
live.
насколько изящной линии в нем. Также можем наблюдать Falcon 9, тоже выглядит очень красиво.
There's a live look at the ONC walkout doors.
Marie, I think my
Сейчас можете видеть вход главный в НАСА.
Друзья, еще раз хочу вам напомнить, чтобы вы не пропустили самый главный запуск в
Нам
истории
рассказывают,
SPACEX, который произойдет сегодня, уже спустя
самое сложное
несколько
будет,
часов.
это
Подпишитесь на этот канал,
не
поставьте себе
допустить раннего
будильник, и вы уже
отпуска
будете знать, спустя какое
вступлений.
время и на какой канал вам нужно зайти, чтобы посмотреть самую лучшую
будет очень
трансляцию с
феерический
самым
момент.
лучшим, естественно, переводом на русский язык, чтобы вам все было
Очень
понятно,
чудесный
интересно
момент.
и все наглядно. Поэтому, ребята, подпишитесь, это вам мой совет такой, подпишитесь на канал, поставьте себе будильник, и все, заходите через пару часиков, как
Говорят,
будильник
сколько
вас
сейчас много
извинит
зрителей
просто-напросто на эту трансляцию, и вы все увидите
Вот
в
вы видите
лучшем виде.
этих двух замечательных людей, которые побывали уже
Big cheers.
на Луне. Сейчас
NASA
они вышли,
astronauts Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley.
чтобы
Doug on the left, Bob on the right,
папарацци могли их
waving to the
сфотографировать.
crowd there to cheer them on.
Они машут всем зрителям, приветствуют их, так же,
There are their
как и,
families
соответственно,
right in front of them.
зрители, можно даже не побоюсь этого слова сказать, фанаты приветствуют своих кумиров, которые полетят скоро в космос. Будем надеяться, что все хорошо у них сегодня сложится. Видно, как один из экипажа, космонавт, общается с ребенком. Спросил, какая у него мечта, вот, быть космонавтом. Попрощались, сейчас садятся в Теслу и будут двигаться уже к
Now they
ракете.
are getting into the Tesla Model X that's going to take them to the launch pad, being strapped into their seats.
Their suit techs are attaching their umbilicals, so integrated into the Tesla. These
Сам
are not
Трамп
just in
сейчас
Tesla you can
наблюдает
just buy
за
off
этим
the
эфиром.
web or in a Tesla dealership. They've been outfitted with cooling units, and that white umbilical, similar to what you saw in the suit room, that umbilical is being connected to the suit to provide cooling air to the astronauts while they're on the way to the pad. And those Falcon wing doors are closing.
Super sleek.
A rapid departure from the Astro van.
Yes, I would say so.
And their flight surgeon is in the front seat in the passenger side, taking the journey along with them.
As I mentioned last time, we always think about the technology and the rockets, but this is what it's all about, the families coming together, supporting the families, us working together as a team to ensure they get up there safely and back home safely for their families.
I couldn't hear everything they were saying, but I did catch Bob telling his son to be good for mom and make her life easy. As a parent, I appreciate that.
Let's see that prominent NASA meatball.
Now, as we watch the convoy begin their journey to Pad 39A, to our SpaceX and NASA family who over the years made this mission a reality and who have worked this launch campaign up to this point, we have you here in our thoughts.
And we wish every one of you could be here to see this up close.
Друзья, еще раз хочу вам напомнить, чтобы вы не пропустили самый главный запуск в истории SpaceX, который произойдет сегодня, уже спустя несколько часов. Подпишитесь на этот канал, поставьте себе будильник, и вы уже будете знать, спустя какое время и на какой канал вам нужно зайти, чтобы посмотреть самую лучшую трансляцию с самым лучшим, естественно, переводом на русский язык, чтобы вам все было понятно, интересно и все наглядно. Поэтому, ребята, подпишитесь, это вам мой совет такой, подпишитесь на канал, поставьте себе будильник, и все, заходите через пару часиков, как будильник у вас зазвенит, просто-напросто на эту трансляцию, и вы все увидите, все будет в лучшем виде.
SpaceX in Cape Canaveral, Florida. Congratulations to SpaceX for hitting another major milestone, and safe travels to Bob and Doug.
Bob and Doug, as the launch vehicle chief engineer, we've got a lot of our launch vehicle team here to wish you a very wonderful and safe ride on a Falcon 9 coming up to Demo 2. We're so excited for you. And launch America. It's time to launch. Let's go. All right.
Launch America.
Hi, this is Perla from Hawthorne headquarters. We want to wish Bob and Doug a safe trip to the International Space Station. Go Dragon!
It's been 9 years in the making. This is such a historic time, and our team has worked so hard, and we're very excited to be here. Go Bob and Doug!
Hi, this is Sam from McGregor, Texas. Go Bob and Doug, go NASA, and go SpaceX.
Sean O'Rourke from Johnson Space Center. Bob and Doug, wishing you a great flight, and just wanted to tell you good luck.